Classified France 44 is a new XCOM style game set in World War II, being developed by Absolutely Games and published by Team 17. And what I've got for you today is a first look at the first 3 missions in a game. I've played through them and I'm going to give you my impressions on the game to see if it's worth keeping an eye on and potentially purchasing it when the game releases, with its planned release date of just sometime in 2024. So, in this game, you take charge of a special ops team that parachutes in, I think, a couple of months before D-Day to pretty much try and rally the French resistance and secure a bunch of positions to make it easier for the D-Day landings. Now, one thing I'm going to put as a negative against the game, sort of a negative, it can twist it to be like a positive in another way, is that it seems like you can't really customize and change your characters' looks and names. They do have preset names because there is a narrative with the game and the characters will talk to each other, so there is like a positive and minus with that. I really like XCOM with the customization you can do with your characters to essentially put you and your mates in the game to see who's going to die first, but you can't do that with this game. But it does mean you can have like a stronger narrative between the characters, and you do see a little bit of that because in between missions there is like this camp you have, kind of like your base from XCOM, and your characters can speak to each other and get certain buffs and stuff. But how does the game play, right? I mean, that's what we want to know. We've got to know if the game's good to play. And if you've played XCOM, you're going to be right at home playing something like this. It doesn't use the, we'll say, current action system that XCOM uses, where you can perform 2 actions. It uses the action point system. So move in, square uses a point of movement, and shooting certain weapons or doing certain actions uses a certain amount of points, right? So that lets you be, I guess, a bit more flexible when it comes to actually playing each mission, because in XCOM, if you was to move your guy to a certain point, then you can't move anymore, I think, or you're a bit more restricted. But in this game you can do various things. There are certain actions that end your turn completely, and I think I like this system more than the 2 action version of the current day XCOM games. Now, as you see in the gameplay, there is a stealth system as well, where you can stealth kill people, which just works, right? It just works. And again, it's something that's given you that extra, I guess, flexibility or extra decisions you can make in terms of playing. You don't have to be stealthy. Of course, you get advantages from playing stealthy. And when you stealth kill someone, it makes some noise. You can see like a little grid area of the noise it makes, so it can alert other people to that stealth kill. And when someone does get alerted, they don't start shooting straight away. They sort of look to see where that noise came from, and then they will take their action on their turn. So if you do mess up, you still have a bit of a chance to correct that mistake, right? It's a good system and it works. When it comes to the actual combat, yeah, it plays like a traditional game in this genre. So if you played anything like it before, yeah, you'll be right at home. You shoot people, they get killed, you have a 99% chance to hit someone and you'll probably miss. There's light cover and heavy cover. Certain weapons have certain abilities, like shotguns and SMGs are more hip-fire weapons, so they take less actions to use, while bolt action rifles or heavy machine guns, they take more actions to use, but they'll probably be a bit more accurate. And a unique thing that is in this game is the morale system. So if you see the enemies have the red bar, which is their health, and your guys have green bars for their health, but there's another bar underneath it which represents morale. And every shot you take or shoot at the enemy, they take morale damage as well. When their morale goes beneath a certain point, they get suppressed and they can't move. I believe they can still do an action, they just can't move. If you fully deplete their morale bar, they become broken. So you get bonuses when shooting against suppressed or broken people. And when you've broken someone, they can't take an action on their turn at all. So there's benefits to completely suppressing people, or shooting people, if your chance to hit is really low, because they'll still take some morale damage. So it does mean that if you're using someone who's at range and has a lower chance to hit someone who's behind cover, you can suppress them or break their morale while getting some other people who are better suited to like close quarters fighting to push up around their flanks. it's a really good system, and I think having this sort of morale system in more games like this would be a great addition. But yeah, generally when it comes to the moment-to-moment gameplay, it does just feel very XCOM-like, which is a good thing. So if you like XCOM style games, yeah, I think you'll just like this. And when I was playing it, I didn't really see any issues. It's a demo, I think it's an early demo considering it's meant to be coming out next year. The only issue I saw was that when my bolt action rifle guy would be shooting from full cover, like standing up behind full cover, there would be like a weird body twist he would do to try and lean out of cover. That was the only issue I saw. So that puts the game in like a good place, I think. If that was the only issue I saw, then hopefully the full game when it releases will be in a really good solid state. In the demo we do get a brief look at the campaign, and it seems to be the sort of Normandy area, the very northern part of France, where you can take over certain areas of France and they will give you certain bonuses, but we don't really go that far in depth to the campaign in the demo, so I can't really give a lot of opinions of how the campaign itself will play out. Now, I said at the beginning of the video that you can't really change the look and the names of your characters, and yeah, you can't. There is a loadout system, so you can change their weapons, and different characters have different classes, which gives them access to certain weapons, and yeah, you can get skill upgrades for them as well, so when you play through a mission they level up. You can go through a big skill tree to get different passive increases or active abilities for them, so there is a progression system in the game, which is nice. Now, if you're going to play the demo, if you're, we'll say, an XCOM like veteran, I think you'll find the demo quite restrictive at start. You play through 3 missions. There are 4 missions that are available. Once you've done the first 2, you get a choice of one of 2 missions to do, which is to rescue a new companion. You've got to choose between which one you want. But the first 2 missions, they are very hand-holdy because it is the beginning of the game. They are the tutorial missions, so they got to get you through generally how to play, the best practices of playing, and introducing the certain abilities and morale system and being able to do objectives, stuff like that. And I did find that a little bit frustrating, but when it comes to the full game, yeah, you're going to blast through those couple of missions and then you're going to be let loose to go through and just play the campaign as you want. And I do recommend playing a demo if you're into these types of games, or if the game looks interesting to you, because I love turn-based games, right? Especially these XCOM ones. And when the game comes out in 2024, I will be getting it and I will be doing a review on it. So if you want to see that, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. If you like this video, give it a like, dislike if you didn't. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.